All right, so it's that time of year again. It's leading up to Christmas. It's eggnog time. My wife and I are hosting Christmas, so therefore I thought, let's age some eggnog. What can go wrong? I mean, the first thing people will worry about is because it's got eggs, you'll be concerned about salmonella. There has been someone that has done an experiment. It's not exactly a scientific experiment, but a doctor that makes eggnog year after year, he injected some of his eggnog with salmonella. That initial batch obviously tested for salmonella. 3 days later, less salmonella, and 3 weeks later, there was no salmonella whatsoever. That's obviously, as I said, it's not a scientific test. If you choose to make eggnog, if you age it for longer, the alcohol helps kill off the bacteria. Make sure you use the best quality ingredients you get. Get some good quality eggs. Go to a local farm if you can. The milk that I'm using is an organic milk, non-homogenized. So therefore it gets nice cream settled on top. It's really thick and creamy and delicious. It's full fat. It's really good quality milk. So I want to separate all our yolks up from that was a shocking first attempt. A dozen eggs. So why would you want to age your eggnog, apart from the fact that it actually kills off the bacteria in the salmonella, reducing your chance of getting poisoned? Well, supposedly it has more complex flavors. I've never aged my eggnog. Eggnog is not typically something that we have here in Australia around Christmas time, purely because it's usually pretty hot. So more complex flavors, reduce your risk. I'm going to give it a shot. Stay tuned in a month and a half's time and I'll let you know if it's good or not. So now the yolks and the whites are separated. I'm going to add a pound, which is 450 grams of sugar, into the egg yolks and whisk them. So you want the yolks to turn from a bright orange to a pale yellow kind of color, and then that should be enough. Now in a separate container, I'm measuring out a cup of bourbon. I'm using Old Forester, which is 100 proof, 50%. A cup of cognac, Martell. And a cup of Jamaican rum. I'm using Plantation Yamaka. Then a litre of whole milk. This is making a lot of eggnog. I hope my family enjoy and appreciate this. And then a litre of cream, full cream. Just going to give this a quick mix and then slowly transfer it into the egg yolk and sugar mixture. I'm very surprised that it actually fit in there, but I'm going to transfer it back into the other container so that I can whip the egg whites. Now the egg whites get transferred. A half teaspoon of salt is added, and then it's beaten into soft peaks. A few quick tips if you decide to do this. I'm no baker, so I haven't formed stiff peaks too many times with my egg whites, maybe once or twice, but I've been waiting a while for them to form, and then I've done a little bit of research and figured out why. So I had a little bit of egg yolk left in there, which is a no-go. And I also didn't rinse out my bowl between mixing this, so therefore there was some residual fat on the container, which is also a no-no. That prevents the formation of stiff peaks. It's aerated. It's not really stiff peaks. I'm gonna go ahead anyway. Don't make my mistakes. If you are going to make stiff peaks, whip it for about 4 or 5 minutes. Make sure there's no egg yolk in there. And also make sure you use that salt. Add the salt in first. And make sure there's no residual fat in the container. And it should form within 4 to 5 minutes. It's fluffy. It's not stiff peaks though. But I'm sure it'll make a perfectly fine eggnog once it's all mixed in. I was under the assumption that I'm gonna mix this in with that anyway, so it was okay to not clean it, but obviously I was wrong. It looks creamy and fluffy, despite the fact that I fucked it up. The bowl can fit more, but I'm about to go over the top of the whisk, so I'm gonna leave it there. So a full batch of this recipe makes 3.5 liters, which is 4 quarts. That's a lot of eggnog. Holy shit. The team from Crew Supply sent me their bottles. These things are amazing. I've used these quite a few times over the years. So you've got a base to the bottle that you can unscrew. So many times I have made syrups in the past. Maybe you've left it in the fridge a little bit too long. Maybe it's just the sugar crystals or something has stuck on the inside of the bottle, or maybe it has been in the fridge for too long and there's a little bit of mold in there and you can't open up the bottle and you can't clean it. So that perfectly fine bottle that you've went out and bought, or even if it's just a reused Bacardi bottle that you really like, you can't use it again, so you have to ditch it. Whereas this case, you can undo this, use a bottle brush. On their smaller chubby bottles, then you can just get a cloth and rinse it. I don't trust my balance, so I'm gonna put it in a tin just to give it some extra security. And then fill it up. So yeah, just transfer it into clean, sterilized bottles. Make sure you label and date your bottles. It's a really good habit to get into, despite that I never actually do it. Keep it in the fridge, and then once you're ready to go, simply pour it into a glass, preferably a chilled glass. Garnish it with some freshly grated nutmeg. There you have aged eggnog. If you want to see the other eggnog recipes, perhaps you're watching this a little bit closer to Christmas and you don't have time to age it, then I've got some single serve recipes, some things that you can just whip up on the spot. Also, check it out up here. Yeah, check it out up here. Cheers.